Welcome into Capper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo da Costa. This is Free Picks and Shit, brought to you by Intellect Sports. We're back. It's your best bets for NFL Week 6, college football Week 7. We're getting up there. We've been doing, well, you know what? The last couple of weeks, we've been hanging around the 50 mark, okay? Last week, we went, we did go we went 3 for 3 in college again. But we're on the up. We seem to do this the last couple of years, haven't we? We always seem to end up around the high 50s, 60s. Really, we do. We start off a little slow. We started out hot and then kind of went back a little bit. But you know what? Whatever. We're in it for the long run, right? The cliche marathon, not a sprint type of deal. But again, first time listener, listen up. We got some good ones for you. We got Locksmith Larry, as always. Larry, you've been actually, your bets over the last, we give you, you get to do one pick a week. We want more now, I think. You're like 4-1. Are you 4-1? I think you're 4-1. We'll have to check that. We'll have to check those stats, but we'll have to check it. Yeah, man, I think so. I got it, man. I am, man. So how you been? Man, just busy, man, busy. I'm trying to do and research for the show and shit, and, this whole COVID thing, man, I'm so busy, man. I'm busy as a one-legged cat in a sandbox, man. Yeah, I bet you are, man. But here we go, man. Larry, game of the week. Game of the week, NFL and college football. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know where I'm going right now on this. I know, man. Gonna be a tough. And the odds makers seem to think so. And if you don't know what we're talking about here, we're talking about Bama, Georgia. Big game. Low spread. Saying a lot. I'm sorry, but I think I'll bet the farm against the dogs. I'll make that bet with you, man. You go ahead. Really? Yeah, man. Your house? Mm-hmm. And if I win? Well, man, you can have my wife and kids or some shit, No dice, Larry. No. That doesn't, how does that work out for me? That doesn't work out for me whatsoever. No, but, really, if Georgia can't contain Bama's offense right now, can anybody really out there? But this just in. Coach Saban has COVID. If you haven't heard, if you're listening to the show, I'm sure you listen to other stuff. He's got COVID. Game seems to be, they're probably going to play it with or without him. I mean, it's the South. So no bet with you, Larry, unless he's in, But it's the South, man, right? The state of Alabama, they will find a way to get him in there. Whether they put them in a fucking bubble or pay some peeps off just to get a negative test. I'm sure they will. The governor's in on it. The president is probably in on it. We're not going to get into politics here, but this is Alabama we're talking about. This is Nick Saban we're talking about, right? They want him to be there, and they're going to find a way, I bet. But it sounds like, but again, I think we might have a bet on this one, but we do have a prop bet. We'll give you a prop bet right off of the start. All right? Because the game, if it does play, Georgia, I'm going to talk about your dogs here a little bit. They've had an impressive start to the season, yes. A couple of slow starts, we'll say. The Bulldogs trailed Arkansas 7-5 at half in their opener. Last week they were down 21-17, heading into the break against Tennessee, and they're averaging just 5.7 first quarter points per game this season. What's up with that there, Locksmith? On the other side, Alabama ranks 6th in the country when it comes to the first quarter scoring, averaging 11.6 per contest. The Tide, I think, are a good bet to open the scoring. So we're going to give you a little prop bet here right off the start. Bama, first to score. It's only a -25 right now. It's a good wager. I think a great wager if they play. And we do have a bet on the total outcome of the game. But again, we'll go over it, but I just don't know. I don't know how this is all going to pan out. Again, this is a weird fucking year, so we don't know. We do not know. College football news. Do a quick recap. I mean, can we talk about the college football playoffs? Can we really talk about them right yet?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
I think we at least, I think we could predict at least two teams as of now, right? After, I think every year since this even started, or even college football history, I mean, the top two teams are usually easy to predict that are going to be in this playoff. I mean, we can already say Bama's probably in. The Big 12 is already probably out. Unless some crazy shit happens. The Big 12, see ya. And we can safely say that Ohio State, right? Can we say that? They really need to add more teams. We'll get there later. Maybe in the season. If we have a season, we'll get there. Pair of Carolina teams sliding under the radar right now. So go get them before the markets do. We've been talking about these teams since the start. Charlotte, great program. On the rise, 3-0 ATS. Coastal Carolina, a game we won last night. Won outright against, your Raging Cajuns. Leading the Sun Belt right now, 4-0, 3-1 ATS. Another Carolina team that's been on the radar, I should say, for the ACC champion, UNC, tearing shit up, right? Watch out for these guys. They're piling up the points. I think things are shaking up in the SEC, right? But we'll talk about that in a little bit because we got some picks. Next week we finally got some Big Ten, Mountain West. I mean, bring on the action, please. Please, COVID. Please, COVID. Don't shut the shit down, please. Just a warning here. Keep an eye on the ND game, Notre Dame. It's going to be messy in South Bend on Saturday. We're looking high of 58 degrees, 42% chance of rain. Winds will be in the south, somewhere to 13 up to 22 miles per hour gusts. So not ideal, but it's not unexpected for this time of year for there. But be sure to monitor this game time condition because the over-under is sitting at 64.5. So those are big numbers with a good defense in Notre Dame. So maybe take it now and risk. I don't know. Maybe risk it. Just in case they change it, because they might change it come game time. We do have a pick with ND as well. So we are waiting. We shouldn't because it's getting lower and lower. Maybe due to the weather. I don't know. But keep an eye on that one. Little tidbits there. NFL. What do we got going on in the NFL? Every week something crazy happening, huh? Atlanta fires coach. Yeah, we all knew Quinn was gone. I mean, right? And the GM. And now they have a COVID case. We'll see how that all pans out. Also, the owner said Matty Ice is on, thin ice. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Actually, just tonight. Levon Bell let go by the Jets. Another great move by the Jets. I mean, really, it's not bad. I mean, it just sucks that they had to pay so much money for him, but he hasn't done shit. But watch out here. Watch out. Watch where he goes next. He will be effective. Very. Sounds like Bills, Dolphins, KC have the top spots, but I hear this is just in. KC picked him up, so big fucking deal. But he will. Watch out. Carolina, surprising force, right? In the NFC South right now. Should be getting Mickey McCaffrey back soon. We might have a play here. Yeah, man, I like what old Matt Rule's doing, man. He knows he's known for turning things up real quick. He can turn them around. I didn't think it'd be this quick, man, but I like it. Yeah, man, I do. I didn't expect this. I thought they would have a losing season, but they're at the top of their division right now. Well, right there with New Orleans, but yeah. What else we got? Just announced no Pro Bowl. Who gives a shit? Battle of the Sandwiches. Philly Pitt last week. Didn't work out for us, okay? Yeah, one fucking freaking point. I hate those games. But it was within the spread most of the game. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, they were back and forth. We're not going to get into it. We're almost there on it. Gruden, yeah. Gruden. In Oakland. No, I know. Vegas. Big win against KC, huh? I mean, I'd love it. I truly I love it. I love to see Oakland doing good. I love to see Gruden doing good. And I said Oakland again, but I'm going to keep calling them Oakland. Brownies keep the streak going. But they didn't get that memo, did they? Did they get the memo? They need to start losing. Browns, you need to start losing. If you keep winning, COVID will shut down the league. They will. COVID's out there. When they find out you're winning, you're fucked. The whole season's done. Don't do that to everybody. Please. More turmoil in Dallas. Dak out. And the Red Rocket takes over. Nothing on this game. But small lean on the Cowboys. Really. Small lean. I mean, I think this is a chance for Dalton to redeem himself, right? Guy loves to win in the regular season. Just not in the playoffs. But maybe this works. Dalton gets him there, and then Dak comes in, all recharged and ready to go. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Chargers lose a close one. Proving. Not proven yet, but to be a good bet and a good force moving forward in the future with Herbert. Not just wins, but ATS, man, they're doing pretty good. Right? I think so. But let's move on. Let's move on to what we came here for, to give you some picks. Again, I'm going to talk about the app. The app is out there, Capper's Cave. Search it. You got an Android phone or what's the other one? Yeah, iPhone. Yeah. If you have either one, just search it. We get the more picks, and actually, I think their numbers are better. They're strolling around like 61% right now with their picks. So we put some of our picks from our show on there, but our other cappers they put on there as well. And you pay a small price just to get a lifetime picks every night. If something's in season, you're probably going to get something. You're probably going to get something. So Capper's Cave, yeah, get the app. But let's get into our picks, because again, that's what we came here for. First up, we're going to do college football. Number 18, Southern Methodist, SMU at Tulane. Tulane getting 7 points, over under sitting at 64.5. Listen, the Mustangs, they've been pretty good this season. Their high-powered offense has scored at least 50 points twice this season. They shouldn't have a problem shredding a Tulane defense that's given up 49 at Houston. I think we get a great low number here from the odds makers, right? If you didn't see last game, SMU was up 24-3 against Memphis, right? Before laying off the gas. They did. They let off the gas. This may be bad, but we think it's encouraging, right? They have the capabilities to blow out people. Now that they've cracked the top 25 and growing, they're growing from a great season last year. Watch out, Green Wave. Watch out. Tulane has an anemic offense, right? Which could only manage 211 yards. Couldn't take advantage of their opportunities created by their defense. They had some turnovers. 2 of them. And that was it. Turned into 2 touchdowns. So they did take advantage, but they couldn't take advantage on offense, is what I'm trying to say here. Tulane had 14 possessions in the game. 8 of which ended up in punts. 3 ended in turning the ball over. QB Pratt completed stellar 45.5% this season. And they're missing their main running back, Spears, who's out the rest of the season. The Stangs, man. They have one of the best QBs in college football. The Shane Buchelele. Shane, man, has been nearly perfect this year. 1,326 yards, 10 TDs, 70% passing percentage, 2 interceptions. But he has weapons in the backfield. This Bentley guy. 412 rushing yards, 7 TDs. The Green Wave showed that their offense is unable to score points when they run the game. When the run game is shut down. They can't score points. And that absolutely will be a motive for SMU. They have a freshman QB, Pratt, hasn't shown anything on the tape in terms of throwing the ball. He can't throw the ball. The Mustangs were solid on defense against the Tigers, forcing 4 turnovers. They were able to get in the backfield several times. They're going to pose some fucking problems for Tulane. Trust me, they will. The Stangs, okay, again, they have one of the best offensive teams in the country. Entering Friday, they're 4th in yards per game, 558. 5th in points, 44. 11th in passing offense, 12th in rushing offense. They're giving up 412 yards per game this season. Okay. And the opponents are scoring 23.3 points per game against them. They have a fast starting team this season, averaging 15 points per game in the first quarter, which is first in the NCAA. They are missing best running back and wide receiver, but that I really don't think that poses a problem here, and I think it only helps us out with the smaller spread. I'm telling you, a lot of times these odds makers, they look at what the public looks at. Okay, the public looks at, missing key players. Boom, let's set the spread here, make it attractive, and we'll catch them, right? No, Stangs 5-1 ATS in the last 6 meetings in Tulane. Stangs 4-1 ATS in the last 5 meetings. Road team 11-3 ATS in the last 14 meetings. We are taking SMU -7. Chalk it up. Dogs, Bama. Are we even going to go over this one? I just have a bad feeling that maybe Saban's doing this because he is worried about Georgia. Yeah, man, that dude's, he's scared, man. We coming hard. He's going to be scared. He could be. I'm telling you. He knows it. Maybe he's faking the COVID to maybe play you guys later in the season. He feels it's still early in the season, unlike the Big 12 and Pac-12. Big 10 and Pac-12. That they won't get a chance to miss games. You can't. You can absolutely not. If you're the Big 10 or Pac-12, or not even Pac-12, I think they're already saying, hey, we're out of it. Big 10, if they have no chance. If they miss a game, boom. You don't have enough games to be qualified for the playoffs. Bama does. They can make up this game later or not even play it, maybe. I mean, really, Mac Jones, he's been outstanding. He really has. Been stepping in for Tua, completing a ridiculous 79.5% of his passes. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. But what makes Bama so dangerous is their arsenal at Jones' disposal right now. Really. Devonta Smith, this Waddle guy. John Michie on the outside. I mean, plus Najee Harris in the backfield. They are averaging 51 points per game. All these dudes, are Heisman material. Can you believe that? I'm telling you, you watch out for Bama years that they don't win, right? You watch out because they come back strong as ever. The Alabama offense versus Georgia defense is obviously the matchup. It's the matchup to watch. But when the other units on the field, the Dogs are struggling to run the ball. No offense. Again, 3.8 yards per carry. Nick Saban should make just enough adjustments on defense to pull this one out. But we don't know if Saban's going to be there. But I'm sure he's going to be in mad communication to what to do. Okay? That's what he's best at. He doesn't have to say anything on the field or when he's out there because he's already told the coaches what to do. So it might not matter if he's out there. These two, again, this might be the first of 3 meetings. These two could hook up in the SEC Championship, College Football Playoff, and both of them, they are just good. They are good, but again, this low spread, -6. I got to go with Bama here. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to put it on the board. Fuck Saban there or not. I think they're still going to win. And in fact, that might help us here, and the spread might lower. It just might. Let's move on. Liberty. We talk about them every week. And yet we seem to pick the wrong weeks to go with him. But you know what? We're sticking with it. The Orange are a mess right now. Syracuse sitting at they're getting 3 points at Syracuse, right? Now they'll likely be without their starting quarterback, DeVito. Might be a good thing. This guy's horrible. I mean, is he Danny DeVito's son? Oh, come on, man. I like me some DeVito, man. I like me the old dude. I like that man. But could you imagine just listen, an offspring from him, from DeVito, Danny DeVito, playing collegiate, football? Could you imagine that?
That's a good question. What happens is the center has the ball first, and quarterback will.
Could you imagine that?
That's when the center puts the ball into the hands of the quarterback. So what I do is
Syracuse, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, and they've surrendered 110 points in the process. Gave up 645 yards against Duke. Let's talk about our team that we love to talk about, Liberty Flames. Besides Coach Hugh Freeze. We say it all the time. And his versatile quarterback, Malik Willis. Well, we love this guy. They have 3 players right now with over 100 receiving yards this season. Wide out, TJ Stubbs, 246 yards, pair of touchdowns. CJ Yardborough, 6 receptions, 135 yards. Kevin Shaw. I mean, these guys, they have some talent. Watch out. They rush for an average of 250 yards per game, aside from Willis. I mean, they got Joshua Mack. I mean, great coach, great QB, good run game. What else? Oh, yeah, the defense. Liberty allows 18 points per game with 260 total yards per offense per game. They allow 155 passing yards with 104 rushing yards. With 13 sacks, 4 interceptions this season. Not too shabby. Let's not do too deep. We've liked Liberty since last season. We've been talking. If you've been listening to the show, we love them. And we like them again here. Says a lot. When the last 2 games between these two, the last game they played last year, Cuse, already just from a year ago, Cuse was minus 19. Speaks volumes. I mean, turn it up, Flames. Turn up the volume.
Say one more thing. Yeah.
Turn it up.
When you have the stereo on,
We like it
at
loud.
the same time as the TV,
We do.
how do you control the volume on the TV?
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
Turn it up, man. Turn it up. I mean, turn it up. Liberty, minus 3. We're going to take it. Next up, number 11, Texas A&M at Mississippi State. This is a pressure cooker. I smell it. The pressure cooker. Smell it. Smell it. Sniff it out. We've been all about State, and we think they will be good and they'll be getting some covers. All right, yeah, we have been, but not here, and not after fucking. They fucked us last weekend. They really did. This is a tough spot, though, we think, for State. QB KJ Costello, 6 TDs, 9 interceptions, 9 sacks on the season, and no offensive points last game. Now you're going to go against the league leader in passing yards? Kellen Mond? Have you heard of this guy? Who tore it up against a great Gator defense? You smell that cooker. You smell that pressure cookie. I smell it. Let down here. Is it a letdown? No. After a big win? No. Absolutely not. With a bye next week for an A&M, Jimbo will have his boys prepared to keep rolling. I mean State's going to want to rely on this Kylan Hill guy. We love him, but they will be pressured to make throws and come back. And with him right now, throws equals interceptions. That's what this guy's doing. He's got a great equation for INTs. Texas A&M by far has more talented. They have a more talented team on both sides of the ball. And it appears as though Mississippi State's new head coach, Mike Leach, has problems with players right now. That's what happens when coaches first come in. They have problems with them. And you don't know the guy, so a lot of times you're butting heads. I think that's going to play against the Bulldogs on Saturday. A&M has won 14 of the last 20 straight up against these. It's going to be somewhere around 38-13. A&M rolls this beast. Roll it. I mean, be careful, man. It's the SEC right now. It's been crazy. This season, man, it's crazier than fucking outhouse fly, man. Let me tell you, the nails on the SEC roof coming undone, man. Well, Bama, except for Bama and the Dogs, of course, but they staying straight. Yeah, it is. LSU, 2 losses. Mizzou on the rise. South Carolina winning games they probably shouldn't. Kiffin, Leach making new homes in Mississippi, which could change the course of the SEC for years to come. Both good at recruiting. Really. I agree. But this game, A&M, we got to take it. -6? Is that it? -6. Let's go over it. -6, yeah. Next up on the charts, Louisville. At number 4, Notre Dame. Sitting at -16.5. Good spot here, I think. But again, we talked about the weather earlier, but we still kind of like the spread because sometimes weather, over-under is kind of harder. As much as people like to think the over-under is tougher to bet on when you have bad weather because a lot of shit can happen. You start getting fumbles in the red zone. You start getting fumbles on your other end of the field. And turnovers. It can get ugly real quick. But the spread is honestly a little bit easier to predict. Good spot here, though. Cards have traveled now for the 3rd week in a row. ND, of course, Notre Dame, they've had trouble covering big spreads this year and get a good number here against an underperforming Louisville. I mean, we liked them. I'm not going to lie. But they just got dismantled by Georgia Tech. I mean, Notre Dame has been dominant on both sides of the ball. Notre Dame's offense really came together in Saturday night's win over Florida State. I mean, they really did. I mean, they've been good, but they haven't really played anybody tough yet. Quarterback, Ian Brook, threw for 201 yards. Nothing impressive. 16 for 25 with a pair of touchdowns. He additionally rushed for like 58 yards, 1 scored. I mean, the Irish's run game is what's real this season. They've been great. They got some rusher. I mean, this William guys rushed for 185, 2 touchdowns. They got Tyree, another 100 yards. I mean, they got a good backfield, and with the running quarterback, I mean, judging by how Louisville's defensive backfield fared last week, I mean, come on. We got to expect Notre Dame is going to attack through the air, and it's going to hurt them hard on the ground. And the Irish's success is doing so should ultimately play a pivotal role in them not winning. I mean, but covering the spread as well, okay? We like it. We're going to take it. Notre Dame, -16.5. Chalk it up. What do we got, Locksmith? We're going to move on to the NFL anytime soon here. I don't know. We got a lot of games. And again, I'm going to mention this again. There's going to be more picks on the app. I just mentioned it again. First up on the charts, lowly Detroit and lowly Jacksonville sitting at -3.5 to Detroit, over under sitting at 54.5. Sorry. Gonna go against my Minshew mustache man crush here. I mean, I don't know what else to do.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
He's not that hot, but he's not winning games, so I can't give him that stature yet. But those locks and those beer battered jorts, I mean, you're going too far here, man. You're always talking about them jorts, man, but no, absolutely not. Well, maybe. What happened with Allen, man? What happened with him? You not on him anymore? We won't talk about that. We're not going to talk about that game. It's a Tuesday weird COVID game. We're not going to talk about it. Oh, I see, man. When they lose, you pissing in a rainstorm, huh? What? Man, You know, when you pissing on everybody in broad daylight when you're winning, right? You know, you're pissing on everybody. What? I don't get it. I've literally never heard that. You know, man, when you're losing, you piss in a rainstorm and nobody hears you and nobody knows what's going on. But, you know, when you're winning, you know, you just peeing on everybody. Man, Locksmith, you have the greatest analogies or whatever you want to call it. I've never heard that, but I do get it. I get it now. Thank you. Detroit, they're in a good spot here, off a bye. And really, if you look at their past games this year, they played pretty well in most of the, you know, in most of the games, the exception of Green Bay, right? In which they were whooped on. But they kept it close. And we still feel they can turn the season around. But we're not talking about wins here. We're talking about spreads. That's what we're talking about. So let's lay on the fucking butter here. Jacksonville, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, well, exactly. What we expected them to do this year, right? Yeah, Minshew. He's been good. They've been exciting to watch for the first few games, but the last three have been horrendous and falling downhill fast. 0-3 SU, 0-3 ATS, averaging like 17 points a fucking game. The last three. And we can't blame it on Gardner Minshew. We can't. As he doesn't have a sufficient team around him. He's thrown for like 1,400 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Not too shabby. It's not. I mean, but the key, if you're watching games, looking at stats, the key to stopping Jaguars right now, offense, is slowing down wide receiver DJ Chalk. He's great. Downhill receiver. Downhill, downfield, whatever. And Houston proved that. If you can't shut him down, Jacksonville has the hardest time moving the ball down the field. DJ caught just 3 of 5 targets for 16 yards in the loss. And Jags had their worst scoring day of the year. And now he's listed as questionable with an ankle injury. So if he goes, he'll be limited. Not just by the injury, but I'm sure that'll be Detroit's focus this week. And last week's, because, yeah, they had a bye. On the defensive side of the ball, the Jags are riddled with injuries. They now have up to 8 defensive starters on the injured list or the IR as of Monday night. And that can change, yes, but we'd like to think that most of them. Miles Jack was the most recent to hit that. Huge blow for Jacksonville. He has a team high of 37 combined tackles before hitting the IR. I think the Lions are the play here, man. Stafford, he's been good. He's been good. Very good, I should say, to start his 2020 campaign. No one on the defensive side of the ball is helping him out, though. They've played some tough teams, yes. But they've had double-digit leads in 3 of those 4 games this season. And the other one, they won. I mean, and they've blown the lead in every game, okay? I don't trust the Jaguars' offense. They're not going to generate enough points to beat this Lions team. Give me Detroit to cover the spread. And I think it's a big statement game. Oh, and don't forget, they don't have a kicker. Yeah, they cut Hauschka. Lambo's out. Still out. And had to pick up this John Brown guy. Yeah, who? They'll probably have to give him some practice in this one. You know, if you're in field goal range, you're going to have to, you know, I mean, look at your record. You're going to have to practice. And I think we're going to get a couple misses, right? Next up, Denver, New England. New England -9 over and they're sitting at 46.5. It's another game that has the potential to be moved up, but it should still be in this week. It seems as though the NFL is trying to play these games in the week, but we shall see. I mean, they seem to be pointing people out. I think it's going to be more or less, maybe some of those people are going to be suspended. Maybe COVID just ends up, they push games out, but I think we're going to have a season, and I'm hoping so. But anyways, Broncos sitting at 1-3 off a bye, right? Nice win against lowly New York Jets. New England off a nice loss to KC. I really say that. This really shows a lot about a team. Or should I say Belichick? They kept it close. They kept it close with that D of theirs. And they were tossing in QBs left and right. And I think they even threw in a fucking fan at one point and just like, hey, toss the ball for us. I don't care. You like Brady? Okay, you can play. Now they have COVID Cam back. Probably, I think he's going to be released. He'll be playing in this game. COVID Cam. Should be ready to roll. But that's not where we're going here. We like the under here with two strong defenses and a weak O in Denver. Denver does get some key weapons back on O, including Locke, right? But it'll be no match for Belichick's defense. Denver's offense sits above 27 in just about every major category, right? 29th in yards, 27th in pass, 29th in rush yard, 28th in points. Ugly. And a long travel out to Boston, expect their offense to sputter and New England to get off to a quick start and control the clock. With the, have you heard, second best run game in the league. They always run under the table because they have so many backs, but yet, they got Cam now. He can run. Hey, listen, whether Cam can be cleared for Monday's postponed game, right? He's got to test negative, right? Twice. And those two tests must come at least 24 hours apart. So, now we are betting on him playing, but it only helps us if he doesn't. So if you buy it early, that's why it's important to get this early. Let me explain. Rather simple. They set the line in between Cam starting and Cam not starting. So it's a good buy here. Maybe even with a little teaser. But it's a good buy in between. Because they're going to shut it down or going to move it up. We like it. Chalk it up. Under 46 and a half. New England, Denver. Larry, I noticed you didn't go SEC this week or college, that matter, because you haven't, give me your little thumbs up that you're ready to roll. So, what is it? What you got to pick in the NFL? Yeah, man. I'm gonna stay in the South. So I hope that kind of constitutes, kind of where my concentrations are at, man. I have no clue what you're talking about, but go on with it. Chicago, man. Carolina minus 2.5. Man, I know we've been against Carolina, but they hot, man. And I'm sticking with the hot team here, man. Now, Mickey, he's back from injury, maybe. Well, still questionable, but it looks like he's going to make it, man. This Chicago team, they ain't as good as they seem, man. They'll be coming down from that high, man, of beating Brady. Well, let's just put it this way. Brady, he really beat up himself in that game. Did he not? That fourth down shit. Did you see that shit, man? He's like an old man out there, man. He don't know what he's talking about.
I was born in Birkenhead, in the Whittle.
He really is, man. That man for real. I absolutely know, man. That shit's that was hilarious. Now, they probably didn't lose the game because of it. I mean, Foles loves to beat him. But yeah, man, I like these cats, man. I like these cats. They stay hot. This will be a close, low-scoring game, but Teddy Bearwater, I'm going to call him Bearwater, will pull it off late, man. 24-20. We'll take the minus 2.5 points. Yeah, and speaking of Teddy, listen to this. I'm gonna put this on the board for you. But also because you've been really good this year. Best starter in the league when it comes to ATS. Best quarterback starter, right? He's 28-9 as a starter ATS. No QB even close to that. Even close. Chalk it up, man. Lock it up, Larry. Lock it up. Carolina, minus 2.5. Man, quit. What are you doing over there? Houston, Tennessee. Tennessee sitting at minus 3. All right. Expect this to go up after that win against Buffalo. All right. I'm not going to say anything bad, good about that game, but we catch Houston in a good spot. Weird Tuesday game. It's a weird Tuesday to Sunday schedule for Tennessee. They overcame the last game with no practice, and maybe that helped. Maybe the younger generations learn better on computers and studying schemes, and it's the computer generation, right? Unfortunately, Buffalo had the shit end of the stick in that loss. Man, you always gotta have some excuse. I'm not having an excuse here, man. They really did. That was the Steelers to lose. But whatever. Weird year. We'll get into that another time. Houston should be on the rise here. And the Titans, I think they're on their high horse. But we'll be, I almost like the SU win here, too. If you watch Tuesday's game, right? Yeah, they were good. But they had some major mistakes by Buffalo. And they got it was an easy couple of touchdowns they got, and it was easy to take the lead and control that game. I think Houston will ride the high with the new coach, man. Start after a 2-0 start, short week, and Tennessee plays this weekend. I think they're going to pay for their COVID mistakes. Again, wait on this bet, because I think it will get to 4 or 5 as the public will be all over Tennessee as they've been moving up the charts. Everybody loves them, but watch out for Watson. Take it. Plus whatever it's gonna be. And look, they got a price low. Really low. That's what's scary about it. It's trappy. Very trappy. That's why I'm liking Houston. Green Bay. Tampa Bay. This is one of the games of the week, man. Georgia, Alabama, Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Those are the 2 games of the week, man. Brady, I loved it. He proved in the last game, though, that he needs some extra help from the coaching. He really does. He's missing Belichick right now. And also keeping track of the downs. Belichick must have did that for him. However, though, Brady, he's also coming to the game where he has a chance to knock off an unbeaten team. So that is a little bit of motivation for him. But the problem is that that Rodgers is having one many can consider the best year of his career. 98 for 139 for 1,214 yards. 13 touchdowns, not a single pick. And he gets his weapons back in Jones and Adams. You fucking kidding me? Their number 1 ranked scoring offense, 38 points per game. That's like a college team in all of football. Now, I shouldn't say all of football, not college, but NFL. So it's safe to say, I think the Buccaneers defense that has allowed 295 passing yards in their last 3 outings, they could be in for a rough time Sunday. Absolutely. And if old man Brady shows up again with the current state of Tampa Bay's backfield, expect them to struggle all day to follow Rodgers. And Rodgers has much more to prove against the GOAT here. Much more. Take it. Small price. Green Bay -2. Next up, LA Rams at the 49ers. Niners getting 3.5 points at home. The Los Angeles Rams, healthy 4-1 on the season. And have looked like a clear contender so far, have they not? Meanwhile, San Francisco has been thoroughly depleted by injuries throughout the entire season and appears to be falling apart, right? They're only 2-3 on the year with 2 wins coming against New York teams. They're a combined 0-10. Goff seems to be coming into his own. He's having a record season. They've been effective at the run game, able to use all 3 running back. They're a 3-man running back committee right now. 8th in the NFL in rushing offense, right? Cam Akers saw 9 carries. Henderson got 15. Malcolm Bryan handled 8. They're just mixing it up, doing a great job. He's a good coach. He really is. The defense, they dominated Washington's offensive line. Total of 8 sacks. 4 of them came in the hands of Aaron Donald, who is having a breakout season too. San Fran has given up 10 sacks. 13.5 tackles for a loss in the last 2 weeks alone. Donald and company are licking their chops right now. Is Jimmy back? Well, Garoppolo, I don't know. He didn't show up last game. And now they have a QB controversy there. And who knows who's starting? Who cares? The 49 defense is in shambles. Nick Bosa, Sherman, Solomon. And they couldn't get much pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick at all. Gave him ample time to dissect the field and deliver. He finished with 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. If they give Goff that much time to work, he'll post similar numbers, 38-20. 38-20. Lock it up, Locksmith. What do you got? You got anything else, Locksmith? Nah, man. I'm sticking with my pick. I like it, man. I'm gonna go 5-1, man. I ain't let you go with that easy with that. I'm checking those picks for you, but I think you're pretty close. Again, remember, get the app, Cabber's Cave. You get it on the iPhone, get it on the Android, whatever. It's called Cabber's Cave. You get all the picks, 6 major sports, and I think that's it. Follow us on Twitter, Cabber's Cave at Cave Cappers. You can find our show on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever the fuck is. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is Free Picks and Shit. You're welcome. Have a good one.